Welcome to the online class of DBSH. This class is for class 7 section A, and we are going to do chapter number 6, history part. And the name of the chapter is Development of Urban Centers, Trade and Communities. So we'll try to know here about the emergence of urban centers in medieval India. So we'll see town traders and craftsmen in medieval India. So during that time, many of larger villages they transform to group of villages, and then after that they transform to big cities, and after that these cities transform to administrative towns, and then these administrative town become the trading centers. So in some of the administrative town you will see that it become the capital city, like Agra, Delhi, and Hampi were the developed as center of power and administration, and the capital city of the empires, administrative towns were founded by the only rulers. So, for example, here they have given Dolatabad, which was founded by Muhammad bin Tughlaq, and Firoz Shah Tughlaq, that is Jaunpur, and Bahlul Lodi rebuilt Agra. Akbar added again Fatehpur Sikri as a satellite town and founded Allahabad near the Prayag. So Ahmedabad in Gujarat also founded by independent rulers like Sultan Muhammad Shah I. Then we'll see the trading towns, some of the trading towns, and why these trading towns were set up. The towns is set up by some of very uh, efficient members of the place. That is weavers, carpenters, blacksmiths, dyers, porters, shoemakers. These people, and this become the hub of trading. So these people lived and worked in separate streets and the town or qasbas in different parts. So these towns emerged as a manufacturing center. So very good example is Agra. If you'll go to Agra, you will see that this place is famous for shoes or sandals. So there is a factory, massive factory there in Agra for production of shoes. Then Uh, then also there are factories like paper manufacture, glassware, copper and brass utensils. After that, Jaunpur, it is very famous for cloth weaving and wooden articles. Then rulers like rulers like such as, if you'll follow here, rulers like Alauddin Khilji, Alauddin Khilji, Sher Shah and Akbar paid lots of attention in construction of roads. See here, and this one last paragraph you see that Alauddin Khilji, Sher Shah and Akbar paid lots of attention to the construction of roads and provided security to the merchants. So Sher Shah built the Grand Trunk roads from Chittagong in present day Bangladesh to Howrah in present day West Bengal in India. So this type of development they have done. So let's see the pilgrimage or religious towns. So some of the very important towns, which is mainly developed because of very temples. Uh, the places like Madurai, Tirupati, and Somnath. These temples was built there, and the place is really developed. People went on the pilgrimages to places where saints, fakirs, or religious teachers had lived, preached, and attained salvation. So many people go to places like Banaras, Mathura, Allahabad, Vrindavan, example of such town which was developed and famous for religious center. Then let's see again in Amritsar, the holy city for the Sikhs, came into prominence in 16th century, and owned its popularity to the Golden Temple that came upon land donated by Akbar. Then let's see the trade centers, means the business place. Okay, the bulk of production was sold in the town itself, and it is nearly towns. Most of the purchase was made by the Banjaras and the traditional grains merchants. They in turn carried it to the other towns and markets. Tavernier, a French traveler who came to India in the second half of the 17th century, states that in almost every town, rice, flour, butter, milk, vegetables, sugar, and other sweets could be brought. In some towns, every sheep, even sheep, goat, fowl, etc., were available. So what they do, people go from place to place and they sell their food items, grains, and travel place to place. So some of the place become very important for trading. So in this way, people avail everything as their food items. There is also a hut. Hut means weekly market, where people will come there. They will gather there, and different food items, means clothes, every essential thing, commodities they will sell on that day, and the market took place on that particular place. So huts was there. Almost every parganas had a market and wholesale market. It seems that network of small and big markets like huts, panthers, mandis, and merchants in their individual capacities took care of the commercial activities in various localities. So market plays very important role. Small market turns to big mandis, and from where the people will get the wholesale. From these mandis, the food commodities are brought and they sell to different parts of India. So let's see, generally big towns also serve as administrative headquarters of Subha, Patna, Ahmedabad, Surat, Dhaka, all these places. Examples such as trading center. So main cities, Patna, you know that Patna, then Delhi, Agra, Mumbai, Hyderabad, Kolkata, these places are a center of trading. Even for northeast region, Kolkata is the main hub for trading. All the food commodities, different different types of food items, grains, clothes are means delivered from that place. So it become the hub for northeast India. So now let's see the ports. So ports town. So very interesting thing that port is very important during the medieval age, because during that time the only way of transportation of goods from one place to another is through the sea route, and through these many cities developed and they come up like Gujarat, Mumbai, then Goa, Chennai, then Kolkata, Odisha. So it became the biggest city for trading. So ports towns are really developed because of good transportations from one place to another. So if you read the case study of Hampi, Masulipatam, and Surat, so you will know about how these places, some of the places are really developed, and how these places served for to the people, and how it is become developed, so developed. Now let's see the caste and society in medieval India. So you know that there are four varnas. Number one is Brahmins, number two is Kshatriyas, number three is Vaishyas, and number four is Shudras. So different varnas have different types of works, and accordingly they do it. And through these caste systems begins as occupational division of the labor. So it divides our work. This varnas, this caste system divides our work. And by the medieval period, the Brahmins becomes very powerful and enjoyed the immense privileges. And medieval period also show the rise of many new caste and sub-caste. Most of these castes were occupations based, and such as weavers, carpenters, fishermen, etc. So depend upon your occupation, the caste systems was divided. Then the condition of the women were also deteriorated during that period. So during that period, medieval period, polygamy was the common, and female infanticide was rampant. So education for the women was not encouraged, and practice of sati and johar was widely practiced. Sati system means women was burned alive after the death of her husband. So this type of practice, superstitious polygamy practice was there. Child marriage was there. So it was very deteriorated, that situation. Then tribal society during the medieval India. So tribal, this include tribal who lived away from the main habitations of village and towns, and these people lived in dense forest, mountains, hills, deserts, etc. Tribal community have certain distinct characteristics which makes them different from the caste based society. And some of the general feature of the tribal societies are, if you see that, relationship binds. Then unlike the varnas and jatis, absence of strong complex formal governmental of state system. Then land belongs to the entire community. Then a very basic sense of economics, and lack of distinction between forms and substance of religions. During that time, some of the tribe was rose to prominence, and they paid tribute to the Mughal emperor, like Raja Man Singh, a chief commander of Akbar army, defeated to the Chiro tribe of Jharkhand in 1591. Then in Sindh, the year of Langhas and Aghons, who were prominent tribes, they were also subdued by the Mughals. Then again, northwest Balochis were a great tribe in the western Himalayas. Then Shepherd tribes called a Gadis. So different tribes was there. Again, we hear about Nagas, that is here in northeast side. Nagas, Ahoms, Kacharis, Khashis, all these. And the peninsular region again dominated by the tribes such as Bhils, Kolis, Gonds, and Konts. Again in south, some of the dominant tribes such as Todas, Koragar, then Badagas, and Vitras. So these tribes are exist during that period. And again, if you read the case study by yourself and try to understand the different types of tribes during that medieval period. And also case study of Ahoms, all this you go through, so you will understand better. You will know very nicely about the different tribes. So we like to conclude our chapter here, this topic. We'll see next chapter on next class.